on Saturday afternoon, beating Sunderland 2-1. Their first win in an opening Premier League game for the first time since 1993-1994. Great start for Gary O'Neill. Can't say the same thing, unfortunately, for Russell Martin. Yet to win in the league. Suffered a 2-1 defeat to Burton Albion at the weekend and drew 1-0 with Notts County in the opening weekend of League One. They did beat Northampton, of course, in the first round 1-0 to get their side here. Unfortunately, it's not been a great start for the former Saints boss. Ipswich make a massive 9 changes from the side who beat Sunderland at the weekend. Only skipper O'Shea and Nunes keep their places in the 11, whereas for the Foxes, 8 changes. Thomas, Braybrook and Bristrick keep their places in the 11. For Ipswich, it is Christian Walton in goal. Back from Darnell Furlong, skipper Dara O'Shea, Cedric Kipre and Abdul Wataro, with Cameron Humphreys and Marcelino Nunes the 2 holders. Casey McAteer, Sinde Wale Eglai and Jack Clark supporting Juba Akpom, who leads the line for O'Neill's side. Whereas for the Foxes, Jakub Starlasic is in goal, Wayo Koulibaly, Abdullah Aluko, Luke Thomas and Christian McFarlane as a back 4. Louis Page, Sammy Braybrook and Connor Chaplin, the skipper, as the 3 midfielders. And Tommy Watson, Admir Bristrick and Harry Howell as a forward 3 for Russell Martin this evening. Lewis Smith is the official for all the action this evening at Portman Road. It is EFL Cup round 2 action coming up at 7:45. Ipswich Town hosts Leicester City. Ipswich Town hosts Leicester City this evening in the second round of the EFL Cup, and the Tractor Boys will be looking to continue their momentum from that late winner from Jack Clark on Saturday afternoon, beating Sunderland 2-1. Their first win in an opening Premier League game for the first time since 1993-1994. Great start for Gary O'Neill. Can't say the same thing, unfortunately, for Russell Martin. Yet to win in the league. Suffered a 2-1 defeat to Burton Albion at the weekend and drew 1-0 with Notts County in the opening weekend of League One. They did beat Northampton, of course, in the first round 1-0 to get their side here. Unfortunately, it's not been a great start for the former Saints boss. Ipswich make a massive 9 changes from the side who beat Sunderland at the weekend. Only skipper O'Shea and Nunes keep their places in the 11, whereas for the Foxes, 8 changes. Thomas, Braybrook and Bristrick keep their places in the 11. For Ipswich, it is Christian Walton in goal. Back from Darnell Furlong, skipper Dara O'Shea, Cedric Kipre and Abdul Wataro, with Cameron Humphreys and Marcelino Nunes the 2 holders. Casey McAteer, Sinde Wale Eglai and Jack Clark supporting Juba Akpom, who leads the line for O'Neill's side. Whereas for the Foxes, Jakub Starlasic is in goal, Wayo Koulibaly, Abdullah Aluko, Luke Thomas and Christian McFarlane as a back 4. And it is a warm welcome to this evening's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Portman Road as a Premier League side, of course. Ipswich Town take on Leicester City, League One side Leicester City nowadays, well at least for this season under Russell Martin. Of course, just over a year ago, maybe 15 months ago or so, this was a Premier League fixture between the two sides. Here come Ipswich early on, the strike comes in just wide from Akpom there, just outside of the sticks. A good opportunity though early on for Ipswich. As I said, the last time these two sides did meet, of course, was last year in the Championship. It was a 1-1 draw at Portman Road in March. Leicester did beat the Tractor Boys 3-1 in December at the King Power. The last time they met in the Premier League was in May 2025. So, of course, Ipswich relegated, promoted, and unfortunately for the Foxes, relegation and then another relegation. Really poor 18 months or so, you'd say, for the Foxes. They do have a great record against Ipswich though coming into this game. Ipswich haven't beaten Leicester since 2013, but massive favourites are the Foxes this evening. I will take you through the 11s in just a moment as possession is for the host. That's a poor pass out from the back, picked up on the left hand side. Tom Watson drives into the penalty area, he goes for a strike, slices it well wide, closer to the corner flag than the back of the net. But as I say, unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary. Ipswich Town hosting Leicester City from Portman Road, second round of the EFL Cup. It's myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Eric Stangier, to take you through all the action this Tuesday evening. Well, bright start for both, Eric, but Ipswich, they are favoured this evening. They scored that late goal, of course, to beat Sunderland. They've got a bit of momentum, whereas yes, they beat Northampton 1-0, did Leicester in the first round, but in the opening 2 league matches have struggled under Russell Martin. Yeah,
it's been a terrible start, terrible continuation of the last 18 months for Leicester City, and a decent start from both sides, with Akpom with a great chance to put Ipswich ahead, and then quite similar, Ipswich giving the ball away like Leicester did from their own penalty area to actually create a chance for the opposition. So far, one chance each, and Ipswich Town able to throw in going forward. They are massive favourites today, Ipswich, against I don't know what to say about this Leicester team. It's full of youngsters today, and a lot of changes from the weekend, and something just needs to happen with Leicester.
It could be this evening, who knows, but Russell Martin's got a real job on his hands, you'd have to say, and Eric is right, a lot of youngsters in the lineup, a lot of youngsters in the lineup even in the league games. I remember watching them, covering them against Notts County. A couple of the youngsters did shine, of course. It was a young right back who scored that afternoon for their 1-1 draw, but they didn't impress that much. They are on the ball now in the middle, put to Louis Page, intercepted nicely for the moment there by Humphreys. Can't come away with the ball, pressing high now. Jack Clark wins it, right hand side, ball will come in just over there of Akpom. Jack Clark will get the strike off, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. Unfortunately rolls it straight at, apologies, it was Casey McAteer away with the strike on goal. Would have done very well to get something off and put that in the back of the net, but you can already tell both teams want to play it from the back, they want to play this way, but could easily get caught in transitions like that. I'll bring Eric in a moment, as here comes Tom Watson down the left-hand flank for the Foxes. Swings one into the back post, dealt with by Wataro, only as far as the edge of the area. Awkward first touch, cleared away by the Tractor Boys. A very fast start to this game, high tempo so far. Been a good start. Quickly, I will just say, there's been a couple of goals elsewhere early doors. Of course, there was an early kick-off at 7 between Cardiff and Norwich. That's 1-0. The Canaries are 1-0 up there at half-time. Doncaster and Middlesbrough kicked off at 7:30. Currently goalless between those two sides. So myself and Eric will do our best to keep you updated with all the other goals going in. There's a whole host of games, of course, but Coventry are already 2-0 up against Plymouth, and Wolves are 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday as well. So bright starts for those two in those games. Once again, Leicester playing out from the back, so dangerous. And Ipswich can press so well high, and they have beaten the press this time, but my word, heart-in-mouth moment for the Foxes fans there. Ball into Chaplin with the armband on this evening, out to the right-hand side. Harry Howell, the overlapping fullback. It's a poor ball, and Ipswich deal with it well, cleared out for him. But a fast and lively start, of course, to this game.
It's very fast, and Leicester City, obviously, they're trying to play it back. They've been caught 3 times now playing it out from the back, and that was a decent chance as a result of that from McAteer when the cross from the right-hand side to the left. But they need to. It looks like Ipswich just waiting for Leicester to make those mistakes. But they are playing decent football going forward now, Leicester. So it's at least they have a system. They have a plan. Whether it will work against the Premier League side now, it's very much maybe like the promotion, more like a promotion side for Ipswich with all those changes. But a chance now for Watson.
Strike comes in from wide from Watson, tests the goalkeeper, but it is saved by Walton. Quickly though, to the changes, Ipswich make 9 from the 2-1 win against Sunderland. Only Nunes and skipper O'Shea keep their places, whereas the Foxes 8 changes from the 2-1 loss to Burton Albion. Thomas, Braybrook and Bristrick keep their places. I believe it's gone up for a throw-in for the Foxes on the left-hand side. It has. Quickly taken, poor touch by Watson, out for a throw-in for the host. Quickly then in goal for Ipswich, it is Walton. Back forward of Furlong, skipper O'Shea, Kipre and Wataro. Humphreys and Nunes in the holding places. McAteer, Egalai, Clark supporting Akpom, who leads the line. Whereas the Foxes, Stalasic is in goal. Back forward of Koulibaly, Aluko, Thomas and McFarlane. With a midfield three of skipper Chaplin, Braybrook and Page. Forward three of Howell off the right, Watson off the left, and Bristrick leading the line for the Foxes. Lewis Smith is the official for all of the action this evening. A couple of other goals going elsewhere. Millwall have just taken a 1-0 lead against Cambridge. Fleetwood 1-0 up against Shrewsbury Town, and Reading 1-0 up against Stevenage as well. Of course, so many games kicking off. As I said, myself and I will do our best to keep you up to date, but a lot of games elsewhere. But so far, you rightfully said it, a lot of change for both teams. This Ipswich team, it is a Premier League team, but this side is more of, you said, it's, 9 changes, secondary lineup, more of a quote-unquote championship side, promotion chasing for that. Leicester, a lot of changes, but still quite strong. And as you said, this is how Leicester want to play. It's just sometimes it can be overplayed with Russell Martin with at the back sometimes.
Yeah, they've been called out at the back a couple of times, but they're playing some decent football though in the Ipswich half now, and they're sort of recovered from those mistakes. Just as I say that they lose that now, it's a chance for Ipswich on the counter.
Coming forward, Akpon, he's got an opportunity. He's got a one-on-one against Thomas. Thomas, the full-back playing at centre-back this evening, does well to hold him off. McAtee will put a ball into the box looking for Clark. Well headed away, only to the edge of the area, then nodded back to the goalkeeper in Stalasic, who hasn't actually started the last few games in goal for the Foxes. So interesting this evening. But that was good play from Thomas. Just looking at Gary O'Neill, won both his previous meetings as Bournemouth boss against Leicester City. So O'Neill has a good record in that statistic. Ball forward into the feet of Louis Page. Out to left-hand side. This is a nice move from the Foxes. Watson, left-hand side. Roy wants to cut in. Will he go down the byline? Holds it up. Edge of the area. Strike comes in. Well, it's sliced, unfortunately, and bobbles into the arms of Walter in goal. But as you said, Eric, they're playing some good stuff. They know what they want to do. They're putting it together at the moment. And when I do think of Leicester and how they want to play, the two teams have played against sat back really deep. It was hard to unblock. Ipswich want to go and play football, so that actually might help Leicester. Yes,
maybe basically playing a better opponent is to their favour, because they played it beautifully out from the back. That they have lost it a few times and created chances for Ipswich because of that. So, but that is the plan from Russell Martin. Basically, stick to what the plan is, and if we manage to create the overload, then we can create the chances. And I thought Watson might go for a shot there instead of laying it back in the middle there. A bit like Jack Clark scored a winner for Ipswich at the weekend. He came in the box, but couldn't find that space for a shot, or he went for the pass instead, and it was a poor pass, and it was blocked at source.
I want to say as well, it looks at the moment to me, everything else is the same, but it looks like McAtee is off the left, Egalai off the right, and Clark is actually supporting centrally, 4-2-3-1, in behind Akpom. Playing out from the back there, Aluko, back to the goalkeeper. It was Clark with pressurising there, whereas I thought maybe Egalai would be centrally, McAtee off the right, that's where he usually plays, so a bit of change from what I thought at least.
Yeah, it's Egalai, he's in the pre-season friendlies, he played in more in the central role, and then McAtee and Clark, they played right and left, so I was surprised by that change as well in the tactical. But Ipswich going forward with Egalai now.
On the right hand side, good tackle getting back there from Tommy Watson. Nice play at the back for the moment, and I have to say from McFarlane, the youngster, and now space is opened up for Leicester. Nice pass into Howell, he's got runners, but just offside there was a forward Bristrick, but he finds Watson, he won the ball, he starts this attack if you will, he might finish it. Pokes into the centre, an opportunity, Howell into Chaplin, lets it run, strike comes in from Braybrook, it's blocked away, but possession is still with the Foxes. They are playing some nice stuff, and I would say Ipswich at the moment are struggling.
Absolutely, and that's a decent chance. Again, Watson opting for the pass in the middle. It wasn't too bad, and Conor Chaplin captain today against his old side. Basically, it was too crowded in the middle, so I think maybe Watson, if he goes for a shot early on, or maybe go down to the byline instead of just, it's almost like a percentage pass in towards a crowd of players. But going forward on the right-hand side now.
Opportunity cuts inside, cross comes in, goes for everyone. Well, if that was a little bit less on the hit, Watson was at the back sticks unmarked, but too much on that. But that was a good piece of play on the right hand side, and you are spot on, Eric, of course. He had a great season in 22-23, did Chaplin for the Tractor Boys, 26 league goals in League One, as they did get promoted, of course, back-to-back promotions as well. And he left Ipswich to go to Pompey as well, and he's got a great goal scoring midfielder. He's Chaplin, but They just got promoted. He never really stuck in the side. He went to Pompey, didn't really have a great time there. Maybe Leicester is a good place for him. Back in League One, he's a skipper, more experience. He can maybe lead this side as he led the Ipswich side.
Yeah, he's a good League One player, but he needs the right system to play for him to play in. So now he is in the sort of playmaking role in midfield. And he's a goal-scoring midfielder, and he scored lots of goals in League One. He scored lots of goals in the Championship. He scored in the Premier League as well. So he's one of, if you look at one of quite many players now that have scored in every division in England. So, but he went back to Pompey, and that's his club. It's his hometown club. But did play well there, but opted for a permanent move to Leicester.
So now he's with the Foxes in the moment with the ball. Furlong on the right side. Well, he's chopped down there, but Jack Clark's picked it up, and this is what he likes to do: drive forward on Amazy runs. Pokes it off of McFarlane out for a throw in there. Of course, you spoke about it. It was a great goal he scored at the weekend. Jack Clark came on. I covered that game. It was a great game between Ipswich and Sunderland. Felt like the first half was that high tempo that both sides petered out a little bit, but also both sides probably understood a draw is in the worst result here. And then Jack Clark, when he came on, he kind of just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, and that goal was a perfect example of what he can do. And this evening, with him starting, as Ipswich do, just kind of start to get a little bit of possession and a foothold in the game. Do you think him starting is maybe Gary O'Neill saying, well, he might have been planned to start anyway because of rotation, but saying to him, look, you scored at the weekend, go and do it again, get some momentum, get some confidence early on in the season?
I'm just going to break off that, because it's a chance for, could have been a chance there for Leicester City. With Ipswich giving the ball away just outside the penalty area. O'Shea with a mistake this time. So both Leicester and Ipswich have won the ball in the dangerous situations. A bit lacklustre defending from Ipswich Town, who's now got a defensive throw-in with the Furlong. So yeah, back to Jack Clark. I have a feeling the players that are starting today probably won't start against Man United at the weekend. I think yeah, and he came on as a sub, and obviously he got about 20 minutes at the weekend, and it's been linked with a loan move to Middlesbrough as well. So it's which the Ipswich fans don't like that, because obviously he was so instrumental in the promotion season with so many goals off the bench then as well.
Yeah, 25 years old now. Of course, ex-Sunderland down Leeds, had that great season at Sunderland, then joined the Tractor Boys. He's got an opportunity, of course, this evening to start. As Eric rightfully said, look, I can also assume that on Sunday it'll be a different 11. Could be 9 changes once again against the Red Devils at Old Trafford. And look, it might be Gary O'Neill already set this 11 out on Saturday for you. This is going to be my 11 Saturday. This is going to be my 11 for Tuesday evening. Leicester, though, do have the ball and knocking it around well. They've had close to 80% possession at the moment, being hounded down here, though. Is Howell on that right hand side as he brought down in the end. The referee Louis Smith does say so. Well pressed there by McAteer, so it will be a free kick. Of course, well, Russell Martin's a new boss in town, same for Gary O'Neill as well. Big boots and shoes to fill coming in for Kieran McKenna, of course, after picking them up in League One, back-to-back promotions. Yes, he got them relegated, but I really give credit to Ipswich for sticking with him, because he had that many brownie points and money in the bank, didn't he? But they probably also knew, right, he's the man to take us back up. He did. Of course, he's left for his own reasons. But I do think Gary O'Neill, he's got a big job on his hands, but at the same time, they've really invested in the squad this summer, and I like a lot of the signings they've made.
It's they've spent a lot, about £160 million. So a lot of signings from that obviously also before Gary O'Neill got a job. Yeah, it's been a bit 50-50 where it's been. Bournemouth did really well, Wolves not so good, and yeah, and I think he's a good manager, but he's had a bit of indifferent results from wherever he's been.
I was surprised as well, not surprised I should say, but I wonder if Abdul Fattawu, the former Leicester man, of course, wonder if he would have started this evening. Of course, He's not on the bench, just double checking there. So he had a great game at the weekend as well. Thought he was very good on that right hand side, really direct. Ipswich winless in the last 8 meetings with Leicester in all comps, 4 draws, 4 losses since that 1-0 home win, as I said earlier, in Championship 2013, all those years back. It's been, of course, the teams have kind of missed each other for a lot of that time.
It's 8 games, but it's still eight games. It's a long time not to have beaten Leicester, and you know, in the 2 Premier League seasons just now, the Leicester was unbeaten. They were unbeaten last season as well. So, and Ipswich got promoted, and Leicester got relegated.
Ball forward here down the left-hand side, looking for the run of Wataro. Of course, playing at left back this evening, but can imagine he's given a lot of licence maybe to go further forward. Very much esque of what Leif Davis does for the Tractor Boys. Will move it swiftly from left to right. Egalai cuts inside on his favoured left boot, looking for options. Will put a ball into the box. It's not enough though. I think Wataro would have been offside. Big tackle coming in there now. There might be a counter. Good tackle from Kipre. He'll keep this attack alive actually. Left hand side. Strike comes and it's a curling effort. Goes wide of the mark there from Casey McAteer. Never really troubling. The referee, Louis Smith, is just going to have a word with Nunes on that tackle, saying, look, it's not a foul, but it was quite physical. He did go kind of flying in to a degree. We'll watch back this shot, though, from McAteer. He had the overlapping run. Maybe he could have lost Wataro, but spaced it open up for a strike.
The position is not the worst, but it's a terrible execution. It's really, really poor technique when he hit that ball. All was rising, and it was the lead up to that chance that the yellow, not the yellow card, but the words to Nunes was giving, because Leicester won the ball, but then they just gave it away, and Ipswich created that chance.
Now here come Leicester down the right hand side. Very open game, as we spoke about already. 18 minutes on the clock here at Portman Road. Currently goalless between the 2 sides at the moment. Little Louis Page wants to dink it over the top for Braybrook. We'll see that midfield free. Furlong there with, for a moment, I thought a dangerous header as he nodded it back to his goalkeeper. Thought he might get in there and have an opportunity, but he just nods it back to Walton. So it's nice and safe in the end. O'Shea goes back to his goalkeeper. Walton's under a little bit of pressure. Will dink it out to Furlong. It's a risky pass once again. Watson will win the header. Pressrick into Chaplin. Offside flag goes up, and I believe referees would give advantage as there is space for Ipswich to drive forward here down the left hand side with McAteer. Wataro busting a lung to get up there. McAteer will keep a hold of the ball, plays it short into Humphreys. Out to the right hand side to Egerly. He wants to go back on that left boot. Needs an overlapping run. Furlong's gone inside. Humphreys, dangerous ball to the back sticks. Has to be headed away at the right back at Koulibaly. And it will be won by Page. Howell, close to his own corner for lovely play. Puts it through the legs there, I believe, of Nunes, and the Brighton loanee. He's got space to drive forward. Credit to the Tractor Boys. Have got bodies back, and Leicester a bit slow that time compared to how fast they've been with the rest of their attacks. And I think that's exactly what we were speaking about earlier, because Leicester, Russell Martin's side to me kind of thrive on, we want to be pressed, we want to beat your press, and we want to drive forward, because Ipswich are going to do that. Against the 2 sides they faced in League One, Notts County sat back, soaked up pressure, looked it on the counter. So Leicester left so much space in behind. Same with Burton Albion, whereas this game kind of appeals to a Russell Martin kind of football. Bring Eric in a moment as here come the Foxes. Left hand side with Watson, McFarlane, underlapping run, back to Watson. Good play here down the left hand side, very patient play as well, I'll have to say, from the Foxes. Thomas. Of course, usually at full back, now at centre back this evening. Back to McFarlane. Everyone for Ipswich is behind the ball though, so it's very awkward for Leicester to open them up. Nice ball from Page to McFarlane. Gets on the end of it, goes for the strike, saved by Walton. Then he hooks in a second opportunity. Walton, too big and tall, and just stands back up and gets that. That's a lovely run and a great ball from Page.
It's a fantastic chance, and it is a brilliant pass through the middle and a run. It's one-on-one when the keeper tries to basically dink it over goalkeeper. Did all right, because goalkeeper had his arm spread, but it actually hits the head of the giant Walton in goal. Great chance for Man City loanee. First game for Leicester City, and then second chance. He's sort of facing the back to goal, trying to just lob it up in the air and straight back into goalkeeper Walton. Best chance of the game by a country mile. It was a really good pass from I think it was Page who just slotted the ball in towards McFarlane there. So yeah, this Leicester team. I'm looking at the lineup against Burton Albion at the weekend. This for me, it's a more exciting Leicester team. This with the youngsters like Suter and Okole. I think that if Leicester fans said they don't want to play in League One, so that they've played in the Premier League. So and then there's a chance for Akpom goalkeeper Sir Altrick just out to clear the ball away.
Looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock as well. He awkwardly, because he went for it. He came out, it was a lovely ball over the top for Akpom, and against a lot of other goalkeepers might have stayed in their area, he definitely would have had a one-on-one chance. It was Humphreys with just a curling ball over the top. Of course, Leicester, very similar to Ipswich, playing that high line. I don't know if the referee's given a foul here, but Kanistolasic catches himself on Akpom.
Well, it does, but I think it probably will be a free kick because he's on the ball and then he just collides with Akpom. I don't think Akpom did much wrong, and I think it might have been just a drop ball. And we're back in play again. Now it's a free kick for Leicester in the middle. I think Leicester got to be really pleased with their performance so far. They have been a better side, I think, going forward.
No, I would agree with that. I think they've been very, very good going forward, and as you said, they've had the best chance. I know it didn't really fall as kindly to McFarlane as was have wanted, but the move and the chance was very well played. Leicester well played themselves into trouble once again. Ipswich win the ball out to the left hand side to McAteer. Lovely touch and turn, strike comes in, it's deflected. It's going to roll out for a corner, not be cleared away by Luke Thomas. There was a second then though where it looped over, and I thought that could loop over the keeper into the back of the net.
It looks like these deflected looping shots that's just loops into the far corner, and it takes forever to get there. But Ipswich now in attack now. It's back and forth. It's a good game, this.
McAteer down the left-hand side, fizzes one into the box. It has to be nodded out of play there by McFarlane. When I say nodded out of play, all the way for a throw-in. But as you say, I think you spotted out. It's been a really good tempo to this game. Both teams have come to play football tonight as well. There's no sitting back looking to sit on the counter. That was a lovely touch from McAteer to get away from Koulibaly. But credit to the right back. The full-back got back, blocked it away. It was a tight angle for the striker, you have to say, but you'd have expected he would have at least tested the keeper.
Yes, it got blocked at source, and it should have tested the keeper. Ipswich trying again with McAteer on the left-hand side now. But yeah, Ipswich just getting a bit more of a foothold in the game, offside this time. But yeah, so far chances-wise, that McFarlane chance is the best so far. Early one, Akpom decent for Ipswich, but yeah, this Leicester side, I think League One, they're not too many expectations to Leicester. I think if they get to playoffs this season, I think the Leicester fans are would be happy with that.
Just trying to get back to where they were. Of course, you do feel that to a degree as well in the Championship last season. I know they didn't get relegated, but I covered West Brom at the weekend. West Brom were almost relegated last year. It felt like just a year where everything went wrong for the Baggies. It was kind of the same with Leicester, but Leicester went down. If something could go wrong, something did go wrong for the Foxes. So League One football, of course, a lot of players have left. As you said about youngsters, a lot of them being trusted to play a lot of football. Of course, Monger's gone to Manchester City. I think he'd have probably played a big role in League One. Same with Louis Page, he's been linked with a move away. Poor play at the back there from Kipre, though. Opportunity for Ipswich. Kipre, well, he got himself in trouble, and he's got himself out of trouble. But that's what, and you said this earlier, because both teams want to play out from the back. They can play some great stuff, like when Leicester have beaten the press. But when they don't beat the press, and Ipswich win the ball out of the field, or Leicester did then, it could become quite an embarrassing goal to concede. Yeah,
it's almost like an embarrassing goal in the air either way now. For that would have been keeper if that's gone in. The keeper is just a personal mistake. Nunez managed to bail him out in the end, but Leicester coming forward again.
On the edge of the area with Louis Page. Of course, it was his precise ball that picked out McFarlane with that lovely underlapping run. McFarlane is on the ball. Well, goes to the commentator. I said he made a good run and had a good piece of play, and then he plays a poor pass out to Watson on that left-hand side. Just over 25 minutes played at Portman Road. Certainly goalless between these two sides. Looking at a couple of results elsewhere, back underway in the second half in Wales. Cardiff 0 and Norwich 1. About to go into half-time. It's Doncaster 0 and Middlesbrough 1. I'm sure I did see a score. I'm just trying to make sure that it's confirmed that Yes, Watford 2-0 down to Peterborough at home. The Hornets, that was one that I came into. I just saw them go 2-0 down. I thought that's a bit of a shock. Brentford are up 1-0 away to Birmingham early on. That kicked off at 8 o'clock, as well as Nottingham Forest and Leeds. Forest and Leeds goalless, of course. It was that late goal, wasn't there, from Anton Stack at the weekend? So a bit of revenge maybe for the tricky trees. Of course, just Barnsley have scored an equaliser, 1-1 with Crewe. Fleetwood are 2-0 up against Shrewsbury Town. And just a quick update, of course, another game on this service this evening. Lask hosting Celtic. It is 3-0 to Celtic on aggregate, but of course Lask are at home, so could have a big comeback there. Akpom with a strike. Was that a play? I believe the linesman's flag has gone up. I believe it might have been offside.
I think it might have been actually onside. Not sure if I saw that flag going up. It's marginal regardless, and not sure whether the referee, I think it's just a goal kick is given there, but that's a great chance. He should do better there, Akpom. Great chance for himself, but that's a great tackle from Aluko to just block that shot.
I believe it's, as you said, it's just been given me as a goal kick. I only say that because our broadcaster is focused on the lines when the flag wasn't up, but usually that means he might have given a decision. As I said, looking at the stats and some of the football, I mean, Akpom can't believe it. He thought it should have been a corner. That's usually the defenders want the goal kick, the attackers want the corner.
It's one of those. It's either offside or a corner kick, because it was clearly blocked. Akpom was. It's a terrible mistake at the back there again from Ipswich.
Oh, Shane, that's not the first time this evening the skipper's made a mistake. He did get back and win that ball, but then he clears it away for a throw-in for Leicester. And again, I think box to box has been some great football, hasn't there? I just think at the moment, close to half an hour in, just missing maybe that real bit of quality in the final third for both sides.
Yeah, it's I think missing quality for basically defensive side as well, because if the quality of going forward for both teams had been there, it could have been 2-2 in this game, with Ipswich now going forward with Egerle. But it's difficult. It's almost like they're playing like it's a free hit for both teams. This almost like a pre-season friendly. Just they don't seem too bothered if they're if they concede a goal or something. The way they play the defensive play.
I think that's it's cliche as it comes, but goals change games, and maybe that will open the game up even more. But it has been a great opening first, just under half an hour here at Portman Road down the right hand side. Ball comes in, but it's deflected away at source by McFarlane, and a corner coming up here for Ipswich. And what I would say is maybe with the likes of O'Shea and Kipre and Chuba Akpom, they do probably have a bit more height and physicality than Leicester.
Yeah, they're obviously Akpom is it's a monster in the air. Same with O'Shea and Kipre. Kipre scored a couple of goals in the Championship last season from corner. So corner kick will be taken out from the right.
From the near side, it will be an in-swinging delivery right on the goalkeeper. They haven't cleared it. He's off the line, still in the area. The referee, I do believe, has given a free kick to Leicester, basically inside their own 6-yard box. But for a moment there, we'll have to watch replay. There was pushing and shoving as per usual. It comes and it's right on the goalkeeper, as I say. He gets it wrong. A Luke maybe takes a deflection off him. A real mess at the back there for Leicester, but the referee gives a foul in the
end. For me, there was absolutely no foul in that. But Aluko and the goalkeeper goes for the ball at the same time, and it basically Aluko's blocking Storalchik when he tries to clear it, to box it out, and it just bounces into the ground and hits the top of the bar.
As you say, it's one of them to me, isn't it? Because if you're going to give a foul like that because of the pushing and shoving, you give a foul for every set piece and corner, won't you? I agree with you. Yes, there was pushing and shoving, but Leicester players were holding Ipswich players. It happens all the time. We see it, don't we? We see it all the way from a League Two to the Premier League. Here come the Foxes down the left-hand side with Watson. Nice underlapping run from Chaplin. Ball into the back sticks. Headed back by Howell. Cleared away though by Kipre. It's a good clearance as well. Leicester will reset and get back into possession just inside their own half. Thomas, good press from Ipswich, getting players out quickly to press that back line of Leicester. Louis Page being hounded down there by Jack Clark. Thomas, they said the fullback playing at centre back this evening. Maybe that's something of note for Russell Martin to think about going forward. I'm not too sure. Again, we'll have to wait and see whether it's just right, we've got a midweek EFL Cup game, that's why we're going to make all these changes. Ball whipped in to the feet there of Chaplin. It's taken away from him by Kipre. Under pressure, Furlong's forced to go all the way back to Walton in goal. Barnsley 2-1 up now against Crewe. They've turned that around. Crewe were 1-0 leaders earlier on. To the feet of O'Shea, as we've already spoken about, made a few mistakes as the centre back. Almost Humphreys played centre back, and Kipre has stepped into the middle for the moment. O'Shea out to the left hand side. McAteer gets a run at his full-back. Nice piece of play. Now the attack continues into Wataro, into the box. Great tackle from Aluko, and he keeps it in play. I've been rather impressed by the youngster at the back.
Absolutely. It's been brilliant as a centre half today, and he started at the weekend, and he will. I think he started the right back at the weekend, or I might be mistaken, but he's been brilliant, and he seems to calm on the ball when he wins it as well. So, and the defending now, Ipswich getting a bit more into possession-wise now. There's a bit of chance for McAteer.
Edge of the area, good tackle there from once again. I believe that was Koulibaly that time. Ball into the box on the left-hand side. A lot on it. Eggali's out the back sticks. Nice header away by McFarlane, showing that they can play some football, but they can defend as well. Watson getting back. Good tackle on Clark, but he can only take it out for a corner kick. And Ipswich now getting on top of the game. Yeah, it's a bit.
They're winning a bit more of the 50-50s after the first interception from Leicester City. So corner kick now. I think Humphreys will take it with his left boot in swinging for Ipswich from the right.
Kipre being marked by Chaplin. That's a mismatch if you've ever seen one. It is Humphreys, as Eric said, into the back post. Header is saved off the line by the goalkeeper and then hooked away by Bristrick. I'm not sure who headed that. Might have been a Leicester defender, but here come Ipswich once again. Nunes will swing a ball into the box. It's not dealt with. Falls to McAteer at the back sticks. Into Clark. He might go for goal. Plays it centrally to Furlong. Dinks one out to the right hand side. Kipre, he's on his heels. Can he get there? He can. Hooks one back into the box. McAteer takes a touch and a strike. Goes for an opportunity there. I believe it might have been given as a goal kick because the ball went out of play when the ball went over the top to Kipre, it looks like. Watch this corner, but last two corners now, and of course chaos in the box. Delasic comes to claim. He clears it off the line. I do not know, because there were about 5 or 6 players there all huddled together. It's a good save by the goalkeeper, and once again those corners have really given Leicester something to think about.
Yeah, the first corner basically bounced and ended up on the top of the bar, and this one, great save by Stralczyk with a header from the far side. I think it might have been O'Shea with a header, but I said it was difficult to tell because they're basically 7-8 players just clustered together. And then very good by the Ipswich players to actually get a head onto the ball, and therefore with so many players in front of him, Stralczyk, he didn't see it. It was on the goal line.
Yeah, it was just a reactionary, wasn't it, from the Foxy shot stopper, who's of course coming from McCarthy in this game. Thought he would have maybe been the number one goalkeeper, McCarthy coming in to add an option, but no, it's the former Saints shot stopper. Well, of course, would have worked with Russell Martin at Southampton. He's being the number one option. Ball over the top, looking for Clark, well defended. Page inside his own 6-yard box, has to just clear it away. Otaro will pick it up on the left-hand side. There's space down the left. McAteer ball into the box, takes a deflection out for a corner. And again, Leicester playing really risky, and they've conceded another corner.
Yeah, I think Page should never have received the ball. He's basically under pressure, and basically he's just clearing the ball. It's so they're not playing out from the back, and therefore Ipswich go straight back on attack. So that's where Southampton. At the moment, it's not Southampton.
It's like Southampton.
Leicester City, obviously they're playing out from the back, but it's just to realise when they shouldn't do it. It's so difficult to get it right.
It's Russell Martin and football. It looks exactly like Southampton, doesn't it? Though?
Yeah.
Ball into the box, it's an in-swinger, nodded away. McAteer with a good header, but it's straight at Stelasic. But he got some really good power behind that, did McAteer?
Yeah, but straight at the goalkeeper. But again, it's a cross into the box, which it's a tricky one, and cleared away. And it's a free header. Good power on it, but it may be just straight at the goalkeeper. You need to head it down to Stralczyk's feet, I think, to get it into the back of the net. But I think for the first time in the last 5 minutes, we've seen a bit of a pattern. Ipswich Town now dominating Leicester City, and they're going forward again with Leicester just winning possession again.
Yeah, but Leicester are struggling to get out of their own half. Ball over the top, looking for Watson too much on it, and O'Shea will deal with it. But it seems as if Leicester are still trying to play the same way, but I think you're right now. Ipswich just getting control. The game's still a good tempo, but the openness has just died down a little bit. Well, I mean, I say that Leicester are still trying to play out of their own 6-yard box, so maybe it hasn't. Quick update: Fleetwood 3 goals up against Shrewsbury Town. Lincoln taking 1-0 lead away to Blackpool. Celtic 1-0 up on the evening, now 4-0 up on aggregate there for Martin O'Neill's Scottish side. Barnsley 1-0 down early on. They're now 3-1 up 40 minutes into their tie at home against Crewe. Very good response, I'd have to say. Southampton are 1-0 up against West Ham as well. That's a big game in the Cup this evening. But here it's goalless at Portman Road, 36 minutes on the clock. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. EFL Cup round 2. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Nice touch by O'Shea, once again taking a real of a risk, and ball into Akpom, well over hit. I do think that needs to be better from the centre back there.
Yeah, it does so well to control the ball, quick feet to create space for himself, and then it's an easy pass that needs to be much less weight on the ball there, because that's a poor from O'Shea. He's had quite a bit of various interceptions and the passes today. A couple of times he gave the ball away. He's actually started as right back at the weekend, O'Shea, so I wonder if O'Neill may be thinking of possibly Furlong starting right back at the weekend. Oh, Sir Altrick almost making a bit of a fool of himself there, just clearing the ball straight into Egerle, up in the loop, back to Sir Altrick.
They've just had so many near misses, haven't they? Of Leicester at the back. You're right. Oh, she started at right back, and it was almost a back three, because Leif Davis powers and bombs on like a left wing back, doesn't he? Down the right hand side, here come Leicester. Edge of the area for Chaplin, opens it up, goes for goal, forces a save out of Walton. It's a save you'd expect the goal. It's a good strike from Chaplin. It's a save I expect the keeper to make, because he's been more precise than power there. As Chaplin is curled, it's on target, but not enough power on it really. But good save from Walton. It's a good save from Walton, and yes, it's keeper mistake if it goes in. But Conor Chaplin, 20 yards out, he's had acres of space to set himself up. If anything, Chaplin needs to get a bit more power behind the ball there. But decent play, and obviously Chaplin scored so many goals for Ipswich in that situation in the past. Yeah, he's used to scoring at Portman Road, but yet to do that this evening. It'll be an in-swinger from Braybrook. It's a good delivery, headed away by O'Shea. But again, I believe there's been a foul on the goalkeeper, says the referee Lewis Smith. I'd like to see a replay. I mean, Walton is getting back up to his feet, watching it. He's pushed over by Watson. I think it's a bit. I mean, I will say I think Watson was almost pushed into him as well. Yeah, it's one of those. It will always be given as a free kick to the goalkeeper, but it was nothing, and he just. I think Walton knows contact. I get a free kick, I'll go down. Now Ipswich on the counter. Oh no, it's offside against Akpom. He hasn't really had anything go for him this evening so far as Akpom. The ball's forward into him. I mean, as usual, he's a handful, isn't he? He runs at channels. He holds a box really well, but nothing really falling for the former Borough forward this evening so far. West Ham scored an equaliser at St Mary's, one apiece there between Southampton and West Ham. Just over 5 or 6 minutes to go before we do reach 45 minutes, and I don't think there'll be too much stoppage that, so about 7 minutes or so until half time. Leicester kind of press down. Ipswich is there, the ones who are trying to play it from the back at the moment. Going into half time, I think both managers would be happy. Maybe they'd want more chances. That's poor from Ipswich. Braybrook trying to play it forward into Bristrick, but well intercepted, and once again, the press high. Now there's space. Here come Ipswich. Akpom, well, he's definitely been fouled there, and the advantage has been played. I think the referee's going to bring it back for a free kick, and rightfully so. The first yellow card of the evening is handed out. Well, it was a Luco who was the man pulling Akpom back, and then Clark was even being pulled back as well on the ball. But they've got another set piece, and with how they've troubled them from corners, Ipswich could create another chance here. Yeah, it's a central position, about 35 yards out. Quite interesting, because he first gave the advantage for Jack Clark, getting the ball on the right-hand side, and then when they had a poor delivery into box, he brought it back for that free kick, and it's a yellow card. It's like a clear pull, so it's a yellow card, and free kick for Ipswich. Humphreys about just right of centre. Will be a left-footed to the far towards the left. He's at Luco, just confirmation. The youngster, number 32, has been yellow carded, floated ball into the area by Humphreys, and Nunes tries to run out to the left-hand side to McAteer, who He's in apologies, I believe it's O'Shea actually, who's in an offside position, so it will be, he'll just leave it and let it trickle out for a throw-in. For the Foxes, well, Birmingham the Blues, they've just got an equaliser at home against Brentford, so that's a good result for them so far. Of course, Brentford, what a win that was at the weekend, along with Ipswich winning their home ties. Ball forward from the throw-in, it's nodded well into Egalai himself, and Akpom just get it all together in the feet. Clark will come away with the ball, cuts back into his left boot on the edge of the area, finds McAteer on the left-hand side. Great tackle there from Koulibaly, and to save the youngsters, Koulibaly at right back, Aluko on the right centre-back, so it's the right-hand side of Leicester's defence. I have been really impressed by those two. Yeah,
they've been excellent defensively, and when they played out from the back as well, so it's interesting. Koulibaly was on loan from Leicester at Sassuolo in Serie A, and then now back in League One. So you wonder, he played in Serie A, top league in Italy. Is he one of the players that might not be at Leicester when they come 1st of September? Because there will be lots of players leaving and coming into Leicester, I think, because they've lost obviously a lot of players already. You said Mungo's gone to was it Man United, Man City, I think.
Man City, yes.
Yeah, Man City. Fatawi's gone to Ipswich, and it's sort of a new Leicester side starting in League One. So almost basically a new chance for the fans, for the team.
I'm going to say, just looking at a few players, of course. Wes Burns made the trip from Portman Road. He's now a Foxes player. Here comes Aguilar down the right-hand side, pokes it forward for Akpom, holds it up well. Back to Humphreys, who will find Jack Clark on the right-hand side. Ball into the box, blocked away into Humphreys. Nice tackle there from Braybrook. A nice first touch and pass to the right-hand side, and Harry Howell will drive forward. He needs some support from his teammates. Nunes is getting back. Howell is still going down the right hand side, cuts back into his left boot. It's great from Howell. Strike comes in, blocked away. He's done very well down that right hand side of Howell, getting forward. The Brighton youngster, we already spoke about himself and Watson, almost the Brighton loanies on the right hand side and the left hand side. They've impressed him so much so far in this game. Just felt Howell almost felt he had to go it on his loan, because credit to Ipswich, got players back, but the Leicester players struggled to get forward and help him in numbers.
Yes, but he did really well to basically, it was like a one-on-one duel with Nunes. He was tracking back, and then quick feet, and he dropped his shoulder and got into the box, maybe 10 yards from the front post, attempted a shot on goal, but got blocked at source. But very good play by Howell, and you know, it would be interesting to see against the likes of Burton Albion and Notts County, when they play against the low block almost every game. That's going to be Leicester all season.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Because I'm sure, regardless of the result tonight, win, draw, then penalties, if they lose, I'm sure Russell Martin will sit there and go, this is what my side can do, this is what we try to do. And I'm sure the likes of in League One will go, well, yeah, but we'll just sit back then. You're a very good team for League One, and look, it's all about results in these leagues, isn't it? Ball over the top here, looking for Chaplin. Too much on it almost, but well defended by Kiprit. He'll just let it run out for a goal kick, will it? Will. I thought he was going to almost stop on the line there.
It's one of those, just about enough pace on the ball for it to go out. If that stops on the line, you just have to start playing under pressure by the corner flag. But a decent spell for Leicester at the end of this half, after Ipswich had sort of dominated 30 to 40 minutes. The last 5 minutes have been more Leicester. So I think a draw at half time is it's a fair game so far, I think. I'm not sure what the referee is doing now. He's actually giving... I think he's giving a corner kick because Walton is hesitating with the ball.
Yeah, sorry, we were just watching that, and I was very confused, just trying to see what was given. Well, I mean, Walton's just confused as us.
Yeah, but Walton's holding on to the ball too long. Corner kick. That's the rules.
Yes, I'm sure it's one of them, isn't it, that we'll hear and we will say the referees inform the players. Depends if the players listen or what they want to listen to, you'd have to say. But Walton, now he's got some defending to do. We've played 45 minutes here at Portman Road in the first half, goalless, and just waiting on confirmation of stoppage time. I wouldn't even be surprised if the referee said none, this is the last chance, waiting for confirmation. It will be 1 minute. Header comes in and it's just over the bar there. Lovely run from McFarlane. If anything, gets too much on it and it's over the bar. It will be a goal kick for Ipswich. I'd have to say that I know it's a corner, but a chance. Along with his chance earlier, McFarlane, he's probably got the two best chances in the first half.
That's an amazing chance. It's a free header. It's almost like he's just running towards the ball. He needs to just stop his run and then jump and get a bit of height to the ball and head it down towards the goalkeeper's legs. Great chance. A good corner from Page.
Really good delivery. Well, now Ipswich have defended to do in the last few seconds here. Bristrick coming forward, looks to pick out Watson. Well defended by O'Shea. Last few seconds of the first half. Really good tempo, intensity in this first half between the two sides. Some really good football on show. Maybe just lacking those goal-scoring efforts here at Portman Road. As Louis Smith will blow for half-time here in the second round of the EFL Cup. Great game between the two sides. McFarlane with headed effort just over the bar. The best chance of the first half late on. Half-time, Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with, you'd have to say, maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin's side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, it's 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. So Martin's playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin's side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, it's 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with, maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin's side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin's side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Marked inside, playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walter. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. So Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. So Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. So Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half-time, 0-0. Half-time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin said playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances have fallen for full-back with Fowler. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances, fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, it's 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances, fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, it's 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. A really good half of football with maybe Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances, fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, it's 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances, fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, it's 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town and Leicester City. Really good half of football with maybe even Leicester on top for most of the game. Russell Martin side playing some good stuff, risky stuff from the back, you'd have to say. McAtee had a strike wide for the Tractor Boys, whereas Leicester City, their best two chances, fallen for full-back McFarlane. One strike saved by Walton. His other header, bullet header, just over the bar. Half time, 0-0. Half time at Portman Road, and it's currently goalless between Ipswich Town. And it is a warm welcome back to this evening's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. All the action from Portman Road in the second round of the EFL Cup. Ipswich Town hosting Leicester City this evening. As I say, goalless between the two sides. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Great half of football, open game between the two sides. Perhaps just missing out on a bit of quality in the final third, I'd have to say. Stats-wise, possession, well, early on, in the first maybe 5 or 10 minutes, it was close to 80% for the Foxes. Whereas coming into the second half, 57-43 for Leicester. So Ipswich definitely came and grew into the first half, I would say. They had some good chances near the back end as well, but Leicester probably had the two best chances of the game with full-back Christian McFarlane. Lovely ball from Louis Page into him, saved well by Walton, and in the last few seconds of the first half he had from a corner, great delivery. His header was fine, but just over the bar. Really good opportunity to maybe score late at the back end of the first half. Looks to be no changes coming into the second 45, and it will be a free kick early on here for Ipswich Town. Nunes will swing one into the back sticks, headed back cross into a dangerous area. Keeper doesn't deal with it, and it's in the back of the net. The linesman flag late though goes up. I was having all eyes on the linesman flag. It was down, went up at the very last second. Looks like Casey McAtee found it in the back of the net, but it has been ruled out. It's myself, Lewis Rafter. I'm joined by Eric Staniers to take you through this second half. I'll bring the lineups in a moment. But Eric, I'm not saying it wasn't offside. We haven't seen a replay because we're already back underway. But that was a really late flag. Yeah,
it was a late flag, but it was before. It was a great diving header from McAtee at the far post. The Nunes dinked across from the centre position to the left-hand side. It was like a diving header, cleared off the line, and McAtee just put it into the back of the net. So it's I thought that with a header, I wonder if it was I think it was Darrow Shea with the header, obviously not McAtee. I think Akpom might have been offside, challenging for the ball. I don't think McAtee was offside, but if Akpom is offside, he's challenging for the ball and he's probably active then.
He's not great defending though from Leicester,
No.
and they have struggled from corners and free kicks. So if you are Ipswich, that's something you've got to take a part of ball over the top. Well, Stalasic is there to get on the end of it, but again, risky play out from the back by the Foxes. Both teams have done that. That's how they played in the first half. Nice pass from Chaplin though to the left-hand side. Here comes Watson driving down into the penalty area. He's clipped just before he is, it says the referee. So there will be a yellow card there. Looks to be Humphreys who's picked up that booking there. Quick counter-attack. He clips him just before he gets in the box. It was great play, I thought, from Watson, but it looks like he was brought down. It's Braybrook, apologies. He's the one driving forward, the more defensive midfielder of the three, and it will be a dangerous free kick for the Foxes.
It's very dangerous, and it's just basically 3 touch from the back, and then he's got all the space in the world from the left-hand side. If he just about advanced a bit further into the penalty area before he got caught, so Cameron Humphreys, who gets a yellow card. I think it was a clear push. He was nowhere near the ball, and as he might have clipped his heels as well. So this free kick is about 20 yards from goal, left of centre, so perfect for a right footer.
Braybrook with the right, Chaplin with the left over the ball. It will be the skipper to take straight into the wall, falls on the edge of the area. McFarlane will go for a strike. That's blocked away as well. Well defended there by the horse, and it's a good clearance all the way back to Stalasic. He is about halfway into his own half, but it is back to the keeper, who then lumps it long, looking to attack. Quickly then, it's Walton in goal for the hosts. Back for a furlong, Skipper O'Shea, Kipre and Wataro. With now yellow carded Humphreys and Nunes in the middle, and it will be Clark in behind Akpom with McAtee off the left, Egalai off the right. For the Foxes, Stalasic in goal, back four of Koulibaly, yellow carded Luco, Thomas and McFarlane. Midfield three of Skipper, Chaplin, Braybrook and Page. Watson off the left, Howell off the right, and Bristrick as the leading line, number 9. It will be Lewis Smith, he's the official for all the action this evening. Quick update, West Ham have taken the lead against Southampton. It was the Saints who were 1-0 up at St Mary's. Now it's the Hammers who are 2-1 up. Lincoln are also 2-1 up against a Blackpool. Long throw and coming up here on the right hand side into the front post, flicked on and then cleared away by Howell. Will have to be brought down there at the back. Now here come Ipswich. Opportunity down the left hand side. Wataro was the furthest back. Nunes looks to switch the ball to the right hand side. Lovely ping of a pass, but offside is his teammate O'Shea. It was, I believe he was offside a little bit earlier as well. Good ball. He's a bit frustrated because obviously he's looking down the line. Is O'Shea just watching it back? He is a couple of yards offside.
Yeah, it's poor. I think that's poor from O'Shea. Obviously he's basically tracking back to get it back to his centre half position, but yeah, it's clear offside. Very good pass. Cross pass to him, but yeah, poor from O'Shea. Is not on his best game today. The Ipswich Town captain. So he had a header which was cleared off the line before McAtee put it into the back of the net. So it's a bit of a hit and miss from him so far.
Full time in Wales, Norwich 2-1 have beaten Cardiff, so will be the Canaries who've started poorly in the league. They'll be into the third round of the EFL Cup. Well, Lincoln 2-1 up, now 3-1 up against Blackpool, so they might have themselves in the next round. At the moment, 6 minutes into this second half at Portman Road, goalless. Ipswich 0, Leicester City 0. In the middle with Page and the Foxes going from left to right in this second half in a burgundy outfit this evening, right to left for the hosts in the usual blue and white. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Watson. Nice first touch, getting out of his feet. Ball across the face of goal. Poor touch from Wataro. Howell will find it on his left boot, just inside the penalty area. Pulls it back to Louis Page. He might go for a strike. Goal, it will. Curling effort. Might have found the back of the net, but blocked away. And at the moment, very similar to the first half, that Leicester started the first half better, then Ipswich grew into the game. Well, at the moment, the second half is following that same stick because Leicester have started the better of the two.
Absolutely, and they're playing some decent stuff when they get past the press for Ipswich, which sort of 50-50 at the moment. Then they create the overload, and they're very, very good comfortable on the ball, the Leicester players. So much Koulibaly who's came forward, and then Page tried a shot on goal, which was triple blocked by Ipswich. And then O'Shea headed it straight at his centre half partner keeper. It could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, it could have been. He looked like a good strike, didn't it? And I think Walter might have had it saved, might have ended up in the back of the net. I'm not too sure on that, but it's blocked anyway. And Leicester have started strong. Gosh, you do look at the two benches, and you would say that the Premier League side have the better of that. They have options like Reece Davies. He's on the bench. They've got players who can come on, have Ipswich in the forward areas to make a difference, you'd have to say, in the attack at least. Julio Enciso, Sasa Lukic, the former Fulham man, Dyson Maeda as well. Leicester playing out from the back again, risking it, but if it works, it works. Left hand side with McFarlane, back in the middle to Luke Thomas. Nice pass to beat the pressers. What Eric said, this was doing well. Clipped there, but still coming forward. Leicester. It is a clip and a foul by Jack Clark. It will be a yellow card. Leicester actually, I thought they'd be a bit more frustrated because they were coming forward there, beat the press, they've done well to get past Clark there down the left-hand side, had Louis Page. Watson took his man inside, so Page had a lot of room going forward, and he got back to his feet. Yeah,
he's got back to his feet, and then you got to just hold on to the yellow card and play the advantage, because he had acres of space on the left-hand side there, and it was a bit of a gift to Ipswich and Jack Clark to get a free kick to stop an attack, but Leicester City really up for this in the second half, as they were in the first half, and the poor start in the league. And I think a defeat today by goal or two, not the disaster, but well, for Leicester point of view, they can't come here and get beat by 4 or 5, because that's just like the team morale will just go sink to an all-time low.
Chaplin out to Howell on the right hand side, as Eric said. Leicester have started the second half on some fine form. Chaplin back to Howell, takes a touch, compact defence from Ipswich, lovely ball to find Watson just inside the area. Strike comes in, blocked away, just too many blue jerseys at the back. On his far though as McFarlane. Page, he studs on the ball, looking for options. Well, at Vicarage Road, down 3-0 at Watford. It's Peterborough 3, Watford 0. Howell cuts inside, goes for a strike. I thought he was going to curl one in there, and he just almost, with the keeper, with his body shape, with his body work, give the eyes maybe to Walton that I'm going to go for a curling effort. I want to cut the ball into the box for a cross, but he went kind of just fizzes the strike at the front post. Walton, it's an easy save, but if he maybe have committed to his right hand side, he could have caught Walton out there.
Yes, did well not to get wrong-footed there, Walton. But yeah, it's a decent effort from Howell. I've been really impressed with him, as well as Watson on the left-hand side. So I think that could be two really good League One loan signings for Leicester City, and they're playing with some real energy at the moment. Leicester and Ipswich is really struggling to do anything now. Barring the first free kick. Set pieces, actually, Ipswich been dangerous on, but not so much in open play.
Yeah, that's where they've troubled the Foxes. Bar that, not too much ball over the top. Watara, will he get on the end of this? Stalasic comes out, makes a mess of it, but defenders are there to help out the goalkeeper, and it will be cleared well away. And it will go up for a Leicester throw-in as well. On the left-hand side, Luko's ended up in on the deck, and it's probably Stalasic who's taking him out.
Yeah, it's one of the ball over the top, and Akpom is so close to get to the ball. Keeper misses it, and just collides with the defenders. It gets cleared in the end, but they're all over the place at the back there. And I think Stalasic basically is colliding with Aluko, who's headed it out the back first. They're difficult to say. It wasn't too much of contact against Aluko, so I think that's more unlucky than it wasn't basically a launch from the goalkeeper into his own defender, so I'm not sure why he's that injured.
Yeah, just at first point of view, then we see the player down, like we thought, I'm thinking the same thing. Stalasic should come out, he's just collided with him. It's, as you say, unfortunate. watching it back, unless it's maybe more Akpom maybe has collided with him, or with Taro.
I think the contact is from the goalkeeper, but it's more an awkward contact than like a hit from the goalkeeper. You know, goalkeeper is running towards the ball, the same Aluka, but basically they're running different directions. And obviously, if there's collision, then it could really hurt a player. But I think I'm not sure if it will be all right, but don't think it was. I don't think it was the impact of the collision that got him injured. I think it might have hit his hip or something.
Yeah, just waiting. You're not missing any action here at Portman Road. It's Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Just watching a replay back of Harry Howell's effort just a few moments ago. It looks like it's going to be a double change as well coming up for the Foxes. They'll be the first to go to the bench. Definitely saw that Liam Cullen was ready to come on. Not quite sure who will be coming on for him. Trying to see, is that Bobby Decordova-Reid as well? I want to say it is. So it will be a double change with those two coming on. Who's coming off of it? Aluko, it looks like he will be okay to continue. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, it's getting almost like a little apology from Storalczyk there, because I think he might actually have just been winded. The Aluka. I think he will be carry on because. But obviously, two more experienced players, Decordova-Reid and Cullen, signed from Swansea. So he's basically taking a step down one division, which you've seen quite a few players done that when they go to the bigger clubs and in League One, because obviously Leicester is a massive club at the League One level. They did win the Premier League not so long ago.
10 years ago, of course, wasn't it? You're right. FA Cup, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah,
Yuri Tielemans with that great strike in the final to Manchester City, was it? Manchester City or Chelsea, can't remember. Luca looks like he's ready to come back on in the moment, but you are right, bringing some experienced heads on, and that could be for Russell Martin to say, look, the youngsters have done well, but let's get some experienced heads on now. Yeah,
it's obviously Decordova-Reid is he's an experienced player now. I think some Leicester fans, I was listening to a couple of podcasts, they said he said himself he wanted to leave Leicester, but he would give it all as long as he put the shirt on. But Cullen obviously signed this season. He's not going anywhere. And now it's almost a risky pass along across there for Leicester, but they managed to get a pass going forward still.
Well, this is exactly what they want to play, don't they? Because they're coming forward down the left-hand side. Ball for Watson. Can he find it into the box? No, he can't. Crosses blocked at source. And from the referee there, I want to say that he's pointed for a goal kick. I want to say that Humphreys has maybe defended it well and deflected it, if you will, back off the winger Watson. They are going to make that double change now. The referee just pausing the play to the game. But that's exactly what Leicester will do. That's what Russell Martin will say, won't he? Great tackle from Humphreys, watching that back is, I will take that risk because we nearly scored by playing out from the back there.
Yeah, it was a risky pass, and it wasn't the best pass technically, but it worked. Ipswich player didn't intercept, and they're making the two changes now. So Cullen, was like a Swansea legend. They're going to Leicester City. So Colin Chaplin is leaving the pitch. Decordova-Reid is taking the armband.
Yeah, so that's your double change. Cullen and Decordova-Reid on. Bristrick and Chaplin are off. So although they've come off that way with Cullen on, Bristrick off, for example, that's what we've been showing. I mean, Cullen can play as that number 9 as well. He's played that for Swansea, but Decordova-Reid, did imagine go centrally?
I would have thought actually Cullen go in the number 9, but he was subbed on, Decordova-Reid, as a number 9 at a weekend, but as I remember him, he's a winger. He likes to go down the flanks and maybe create chances from deep instead. But let's see how they line up.
At the moment, it's Howells dropped into central midfield alongside Braybrook and Page. At least this is how they're pressing. I'm not too sure. We'll work it out in a moment. But I only say Decordova-Reid is going to lead the line because he did play that in the game against Notts County. That's great hold-up play from Akpon. Plays it to Clark. Is he offside? No. Big opportunity here for the hosts. And they make it 1-0. Clinical counter-attack. Finished off by Egalai. Lovely hold-up play from Akpon. Plays a great ball to Jack Clark. He scored at the weekend. Well, he's teed up Egalai here to, on the hour mark, give Ipswich a 1-0 lead against the Foxes.
Yeah, it's almost a bit against the run of play in the second half, but Ipswich this time had so much space when they won the ball in midfield. and the pass out to Clark. He finds Eggley in the middle, and it's an easy finish. And the amount of space they had in front of there when they lost the ball in midfield there, it's just I think it's Akpom, a fantastic hold-up play, and it takes away 3 defenders with his hold-up play there. Finds Clark and then Eggley with a just easy tap in, and yeah, Akpom, fantastic hold-up play by him.
You'd have to say as well, just a quick update, well, at the weekend, of course, the Premier League side is happening this weekend at the City Ground. Leeds United scored a late winner to beat Nottingham Forest. It's not a late winner, but Leeds United have just taken 1-0 lead against Nottingham Forest. A big goal there for Farke's side. If we can go back to back, I know it's an EFL Cup game, but to beat Forest 2 times in 4 days would be quite impressive.
Yeah, that's brilliant if Leeds can do that. I think it started 50 minutes later than this game, so
yes.
There's plenty of time left in that game. But Ipswich now going forward again, and this could be another chance for Eggley.
With the strike, it's blocked away, and it's as cliche as it comes. I think I said it in the first half as well. It's not the first time, I'll say it not the last time. Goals change game. You just see Ipswich now, they almost can smell the blood cart, because I think they're thinking, if we could go get a quick fire second, probably puts the game to bed.
Yeah, it looks like Ipswich made a change. Davies has come on for Otara, so that is obviously is a strengthening team. Davies will always play at the moment in a first 11 in a Premier League game.
He's spotted there. Just a one change there, of course. The Foxes just made that double change, didn't they? And what, 2 minutes later, 90 seconds later, Ipswich went and made it 1-0. But as Eric said, I can't give enough compliments. Akpom with some great old-fashioned hold-up play.
It was old-fashioned, but he had 3 players, so he basically took out three defenders in one move, and then because of that, there was no one tracking Clark on the left-hand side, and now Clark with a beautiful pass going forward to Davis.
If he can get on the end of it, this might be a second opportunity into Akpom. Strike is saved. Awkward angle for the forwards, put it in the back of the net. But that's what Leif Davis will bring. He will bring attacking energy on, covering the flank down the left-hand side. You just see Clark drop back. Davis is going to make that run. He's just, I think if he maybe can get a better pass, it's a better opportunity. But he was reaching for the pass a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think he did well there, because it is a free shot from Akpom. I think Akpom just need to basically put his lacer through the ball. There is a corner kick taken out with Clark with a cross. Good
opportunity into the back sticks, nodded away. And you are right, they did take the lead against a run of play, but my word, have Ipswich just taken that momentum from the goal. They are all over Leicester at the moment. Clark will swing another ball, not even into the box, to the far side. O'Shea is the man that they're targeting. Leicester will be able to clear their lines, and I say clear their lines, well, Braybrook will. Plays it forward. Howell, who's been impressive, he's going to try and get away from Kipre. There's a bit of space for him to drive forward. An advantage has already been given, and Kipre brings him down once again. Might have even won the ball there, but the foul is for the previous pull and push, and it'll be a yellow card by Kipre. And once again, he's just kind of gone, yep, no worries, referee. I knew exactly what I was doing there, just stopping the counter.
It's a brilliant run by Howell, and Kipre, he was almost like, yeah, you're not going past me. Your favourite is to win this duel. I'm taking you down. I'm taking the yellow card. It's in a double tackle. I think both were fouls. So free kick for Leicester and at the halfway line.
Frank Lampard's Coventry City were 2-0 up. Plymouth brought it back to 2-2 and they made it 3-2 of Coventry. So the Premier League side, of course, battered by Arsenal, who hasn't been in the past 18 months, with possibly a route to the third round. Here come Leicester, striker goal saved by Walton. He's let it slip though. The strike goes wide, but I do believe it was blocked. Well, that was a lovely strike far out there from the Leicester forward, saved by Walton. Unfortunately, he just palms it back into a dangerous area. Great shot by Watson. Not sure who got on the follow-up there. It might have been Braybrook, Decon over Reeds there as well. It is. He just doesn't get back to his feet quick enough, does Walton, for me. But his defender, I'll watch it back, might have been him who saved it, but it will be a corner coming up for Leicester. They've responded well now in this last minute or so.
Absolutely, corner kick now, and it's from the left. That is I think it's Page again. We're going to take it.
It's a good delivery. Heads go up, and it's found its way into the back of the net. Well, I think McFarlane was the one who wanted to run off celebrating, but it will be Aluko. Well, what a response to going behind. About 5 minutes or so ago, Ipswich were piling on the pressure, but it is an equaliser for the Foxes through youngster Aluko. I do believe that's his first ever goal for the Foxes as well. Ipswich went 1-0 up, put the pressure on. Great response from the League One side. Ipswich Town 1, Leicester City 1.
Yes, his Page, like he did in the first half, that was McFarlane with his header from his corner, out swinging from the left-hand side. This time Aluko gets to the ball, heads it into the ground and to the far corner. It looks like Eggerly and goalkeeper sort of standing in the way, but no, it's actually, just have a look at it again, it's Aluko actually on the goal line. Actually, it's the header is from I think Koulibaly first, and he's just scoring from close point blank range. I thought first that goal went straight into the back of the net from the first header.
Yeah, because we saw McFarlane, a couple of players running away, didn't we? And then Aluko was the one steaming towards the corner flag with the knee slide celebration. It was Poacher-esque, wasn't it, from Aluko on the goal line, as you rightfully say, Eric. Well, this game now has been well and truly opened up, and I was saying, I thought rightfully so, that they were hanging on a little bit with Leicester after that. Ipswich took the lead. It was the answer run of play, as you said, Eric, but now here come Leicester. They want to go ahead, ball into the box. Watson on his left boot strikes it. It's blocked away. Half-hearted shouts for a handball there, but nothing coming of it. Once again, Akpom, great hold-up play. That time plays it to Clark. Once again, Clark takes it past two, and now here come Ipswich, left-hand side for Eggerly. Can they find a ball into the box? Akpom is brought down. Referee's going to let a play go on. Clark has it, edge of the area, goes for a same type of effort as his goal. He doesn't find the corner as he did at the weekend against the Black Cats Sunderland. But it's a strike save, well, nearly rebounded to Pomp as well. But this game, I don't think it's going to end 1-1.
No, it's end-to-end stuff now, and Leicester leaving so much space, in particular for the left-hand side for Jack Clark, who's and now basically McAteer is now on the right-hand side. They swapped their positions, so far that tactical change has worked for Ipswich, and we thought he's going to put it in the far corner like he did against Sunderland the weekend, but this time it was a poor effort straight to the goalkeeper. But yeah, great end-to-end game this, and I think still it's almost like both teams. It's a free hit for both teams. This.
As you're saying, I thought I was going to get deja vu there, watching Clark put that same end and looking to make it 2-1, of course. A very similar opportunity. Clark, well, he's brought back there by Louis Page. That will be a yellow card for the midfielder, and just almost give him a bear hug there.
Well, it's Louis Page just didn't let go, and it's like he knew he would get a yellow card. It doesn't matter if you hold on for 20 seconds or 10 seconds. So he went for the 20-second hold, shirt pull, and yellow card for Lewis Page. I thought it's been brilliant today, especially going forward. And obviously his deliveries from set piece has been created two great chances. One that led to the goal.
Unfortunately, as well, he won't be given an assist because it was headed then back into an area and then flicked on by Aluko at the right on the goal line. As Eric says, another great ball from left to right. Another time an Ipswich player is offside. This time McAteer. And again, it must be frustrating. I want to say that was Nunes once again. He's playing that perfect ball. McAteer's looking right down the line and he's offside. Yeah,
it's poor. It's poor. McAteer needs to stay on side there because now it's a chance for Eggerly again.
He picks it up in the box. Poor play out from Leicester. Looks to play it back to Akpom. Edge of the area. Nunes opens up off the inside of the post and it's ended up in the back of the net. Well, Leicester have played some good stuff out of the back. They've nearly been caught many a times. Well, they were caught that time, but they were made to pay this time. It was picked up by Eggerly. Akpom holds it up well, and the pick out Nunes on the edge of the area. His curling effort off the inside of the post and into the back of the net. We've had 3 goals in 10 minutes, Eric, and now Ipswich lead 2-1.
Ipswich back in the lead, and this is from a mistake from, I think it might have been Aluko who gave the ball away. It wasn't a clear chance because Ipswich had a couple of combinations, and Eggerly managed to find Nunes in the end. Looking at that again, it's Koulibaly who plays a horrendous pass in towards Eggerly. Eggerly managed to put the ball into Akpom. Akpom then finds Nunes. It's a disguised shot that it should never ever. That shot should never ever end up in the back of the net. It needs to be blocked.
It needs to be blocked. And I thought they were going to maybe look out there by when I saw it hit the post. I'm thinking, oh, the goalkeeper's got away with them. They haven't blocked it. He curls it, hits it with the inside of his boot, but kind of fizzes it as well.
The first, I think the first defender, Aluku, doesn't get it, but there's two players right behind him that they need to dive. They need to just gamble, and it's poor defending, and this is Leicester. They will be conceding goals like this in the season against obviously a Premier League side. It's probably a bit more. They get punished more, but I wonder if in League One, if all the other teams know this.
Well, the problem was, with his Nopa's pass to the player, Luko's down once again. I'm assuming it's due to that hip injury he might have picked up when he collided with Stalasic, so he might have to come off. There's almost, reminds me of the summer, almost a drinks break for a few of the managers.
I was wondering, it's not that hot.
Exactly. An evening in Suffolk, I didn't think it would be that.
No, it's Costa del Suffolk. It's not quite. It's been a nice summer's day today, around 20 degrees, but not enough for a drink break.
No, but so we'll have to see. Luko might have to come off now as well. He of course scored that goal, but maybe could have done a little bit better there defensively. Just a quick update from a few scores elsewhere. West Ham now 3-1 up against Southampton. Lincoln 4, Blackpool 1. Big result there for Lincoln, it has to be said. And a big goal in the Champions League qualifier. Last 3, Celtic 1. So it is now Celtic lead 4-3 on aggregate. So that could be a massive few minutes there. That kicked off at 8 o'clock. So that's a little bit later than us. So we've got just under 20 minutes to go here. So they'll probably have closer to half an hour, maybe even more there. So that'll be a big half an hour for Celtic, for their hope for Champions League qualification. 3-0 in the first leg. You thought it might have been done and dusted. It's a game you can catch on this service, so that'll be mightily important. There is a double change coming up here for Leicester City. Aluko and Koulibaly will be coming off, and it will be Wes Burns. Definitely saw that he was one of the changes, and just waiting for confirmation of who the second changes. So only left Portman Road in the summer, he's back already, is Burns?
Yeah, it's one of those weird situations. He just signed an extension to his contract, and then he got sold straight away. Clearly, there was something in that extension in the contract, because it's about both him and Conor Chaplin, fans' favourite at Portman Road. They will for sure get a standing ovation from the Ipswich fans. Definitely after the game. Maybe not during the game. I'm not sure that sort of beats the object if you support the players that left the club during the game.
I'll say I remember it's called the outside of the right boot strike when they were in League One. That was a great strike.
It was actually in the Championship.
Was that in the Championship?
Yeah, I think it might have won goal of the season or won some award, that goal, because there was about 25 passes beforehand. So it's like a proper team goal, but interesting to see if he can do some damage now. But now it's a chance for Akpom.
1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, passes it just past the bar. Lovely play, lovely build up once again. Just couldn't finish it off.
It's offside anyway against Akpom, but that was a poor finish from Akpom. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He needs to score there, and it's it looks proper onside to me, but offside's given anyway. But it just he sort of drops his shoulder and then sort of leaning to his left, trying to put it to his right hand side, but it's a poor finish.
Well, now Ipswich looking to come forward. We'll see. Leicester have gone very, very attacking in those changes. Burns almost is going to play on the right hand side as a right back, and Jaden Joseph, who's come on for Aluko, that was a double change. Aluko and Koulibaly off, Burns and Joseph on. Joseph can play centre back, but he's more of a right back. He scored against Notts County, scored a great goal. So you're almost, with Luke Thomas playing as a centre back, you've almost not got a centre back on the pitch. So Ipswich looking to take advantage of it now. Ball down the left hand side, pulled back. Thomas will get there. He will be hounded down though. Great play by Furlong, great pressing out for a throw in. And very similar to when they took the lead again, and maybe they won't be too gung-ho as they were. I think Ipswich feel if we can get that 2-goal buffer, make it 3-1, that'll be over. Yeah,
they're pressing to get the third goal with a long throw now from Furlong, and that's been an Achilles heel all game for Leicester. The set pieces for Ipswich.
They have struggled. Ball into the box, cleared away by McFarlane, only as far as the edge of the area. Furlong plays it back to the edge, ball into the box. Too much on it. No one making the run into the far post, and Stelasic will come out, rolls it to Burns. To the middle for Louis Page on that yellow card, so he's got to be a little bit careful. Burns once again playing out from the back and playing some good stuff. They might beat the press, but this is how they lost the ball, and Ipswich went and scored that second. Here they come down the right hand side, ball over the top, well defended there at the back by McAteer, I believe that is, getting back and defending, so everyone putting a shift in there. Of course, looking at change as well, there's been 4 for the Foxes, so they've got 1 block and 1 change to make, whereas Ipswich have only made 1, so they've got 4 changes to make with 2 blocks. So you do feel that maybe Gary O'Neill now is looking at the bench going, right, who can I bring on for fresh legs to keep this momentum up? Nice ball into Akpom. They've got an overload on this left-hand side with Jack Clark-Davies making the underlapping run, tries to find him again. Ball is under hit. Davies battling away to win the ball back. Gives away a free kick. I think that's one of them where it's always going to be a free kick because Joseph got his body in the way. But I do think it was just a good battle on between the 2 players. A bit strong. Joseph just does well to get his body in the way.
Yeah, it's as I said, it is always given as a free kick. But what led to that chance again? It's Akpom combining with Clark, and Clark's pass behind the back 4 towards Davis. So Akpom, he missed that sitter which was offside, but he's had a fantastic second half, and his holder plays. They can't deal with it, Leicester at the moment.
Burns clears it away, and he's going to have it on the right hand side, battling away at Pom there. I think he's had a really good second half. Of course, he sets him up, and Clark is fouled there. Well, I thought the referee actually blew for it, no, but the referee Lewis Smith says no to Clark. He says get back up and we'll continue. And at the moment, it might even be a back 3 for Leicester. McFarlane, at least on the ball there, it looks to be a back 3, might be different off the ball. Into McFarlane, of course, he's had a good game as well. I think, like Eric said earlier, a lot of these Leicester players have impressed. And look, let's be quite fair. At the end of the day, it's a League One side against a Premier League side. No matter who is out on the pitch, that's what it is. And I think Russell Martin probably will take a lot more from this than he has these couple of League One games. But as you rightfully said, Eric, who I'll bring in a moment, is they are leaving gaps now. Ball in behind, looking for Egelai. Great idea from Jack Clark once again on the outside of his right boot, but too much on it. As you rightfully said, though, Eric, yes, you'll take a lot of positives from this evening, but League One sides are going to sit back. They're not going to attack you. They're not going to leave the spaces that Ipswich have this evening. So that's going to be a problem.
It's totally different than Ipswich experienced that in the Championship last season. They came down from the Premier League, and suddenly they were sitting back almost every game in the Premier League, and now Leicester are doing the same. Ipswich last season met a low block almost every game, and then Leicester City this season will happen again, because they are a strong League One side. I don't see them as automatic winners of the division. They will be up there, I think, but it's going to be very interesting to see if Russell Martin can actually get this team gelled for League One.
I think you're right, man. Look, just having a quick look at the table, I know it's early doors, League One, but I look at, for example, that top 3, Bradford City, Huddersfield Town and Luton Town. Their teams will be happy against Leicester, will just sit back, they'll soak up pressure, look to it on the counter, they will go, you are probably a better team than us, man for man, and how you want to play. So we're not going to allow you that. We're going to make it physical. We're going to make it a bit of a grind, if you will. Whereas I think Ipswich, with how they play, suit Premier League, because Premier League is so back and forth that sometimes you're going to beat a team like Sunderland did. It was an impressive victory, but sometimes, because of how they play, it might take a hammering against big sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ipswich now they've made 2 changes. Dyson Maeda's come on, and for I think it's from Jack Clark, and one change for Howell's gone off for Leicester as well. There's one more change for Ipswich now. Just double check who's come on for Ipswich.
As you rightfully say, it was definitely Maeda who came on. I want to say it was Mendel Ndowu who came on. Yes, it is. He came on as well. So basically changes at the wings. I want to say it was Howell who went off on that right-hand side for Alves. It was. So that's the last change. Alves on, Howell off for the Foxes, whereas still 2 changes left for Ipswich and, of course, a block to make. So with less than 10 minutes to go, I mean, Well, I think in the first 45, the only thing we were missing were goals. We've been gifted with them in the second 45 so far. 81 minutes on the clock. Ipswich Town 2, Leicester City 1. Unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Portman Road, who will be going into the third round of the EFL Cup. And of course, for a couple of teams, there's a ball over the top from Burns, looking for the run here of Alves. It's into Cullen, actually, apologies. Now back to Alves. Maeda, well, you know he's going to give you a lot of running in these final few minutes. A lot of fresh legs. Ipswich now they're the ones playing out from the back. Dinked over to the top to Maeda. Nice first touch. Maybe not going to win the pace battle there with Joseph, but it still feels, because of how open, as you said, terrible pass from Burns. Maybe picking at Akpom because he's so used to it. Holds it up well. We'll poke it out to the right-hand side. The youngster Mendel Idowu. Opportunity for the young 21-year-old to maybe make an impact there. I'm not sure if Wes Burns, it was a poor pass or anything. That's a nice pass to Akpom because, of course, they only would have been playing with each other in the last few years. Maeda on the left-hand side. You saw Davies made the run, and literally as soon as Maeda was about to play the pass, he held his run. I think he thought he was offside. And to me, that screams of it's a new player who's just come in and they're trying to gel a little bit.
Yeah, it's Maeda. I think Maeda needs to basically hold that pass because it's too slow anyway. So Leif Davies is going offside, so he has to stop his run. But Ipswich Town winning the game again. Now Maeda on the left. It could be a chance.
Opportunity for the former Celtic midfielder. Cuts it back to the edge of the area. Strike comes in from Egalai. His first touch was nice. His second touch kind of just sitting back a little bit, and then as he's striking it, he's always kind of the reverse. He's not looking at the goal, and it's high and wide in the end.
Yeah, it's like a rushed shot. He set himself up, but I think when he set himself up, he just played it behind him, so he sort of have to go swing his body around the ball to get a shot on goal. But decent play from Maeda on the left. So it's a bit like for like with Jack Clark. Obviously, Maeda started at the weekend, and Jack Clark came on as a sub. So they are using the players differently in this game, as expected.
Quick update, Sheffield United have just taken a 2-1 lead at Blackburn at Ewood Park, so at the moment they'll be the Blades into the next round. Well, it was one apiece between Birmingham and Brentford at one point. Now the Premier League side have really used that quality 4-1 Keith Andrews side do lead, so it looks like they are definitely going to be in the next round. Ball in behind, looking for Egalai. He's battling away with Joseph. Good strength shown there from the young defender. He saw that great goal against Notts County on the first weekend of the season. I was impressed by him. I was impressed by Alves as well in the game against Notts County. And I think the loanees of Watson and Howell, the youngsters Braybrook, Louis Page, Joseph at the back, McFarlane. It's almost Leicester is saying that because I've lost a lot of players, as we already spoke about, they're going to trust the youngsters to kind of go, League One, you should be better than this level, but it's an opportunity to prove yourself as well. You'll get minutes with us this year.
Yes, I quite like it. If from a Leicester point of view, that's quite, in a way, quite exciting because basically the money's gone. It's not going to be that easy season. That across from Egelin, the box goes all the way to the far side. That Davis picks it up.
Still, the attack is on for the leaders. Nunes might go back here. Decent press from the Foxes. Kipre back to Humphreys. Kipre once again, a couple of 1-2s between the centre back and the defensive midfielder. Nunes dropping deep. Oh, lovely little touch back there, showing a bit of quality there as the Ipswich Town midfielder. I think as well what Leicester are probably doing, as you're out for say, Eric, the money's not there, we're having to rebuild and the club might be sold, of course, this and that. I think they're probably saying as a ball over top to Maeda, looks offside, flag does go up as well, offside there was the Ipswich winger. These are almost saying probably they've got two players from Brighton, they're probably trying to be like, well look, we're going to give loads of minutes to your youngsters, why don't we go to the big teams in the Premier League, say to them, they're going to get minutes here in League One, and as you say, that saves a bit of money to get back to the Championship.
Yeah, I think the loan system, there's so many youngsters as well, and the money's gone, the club might be sold, but now it's a chance for Ipswich on the right-hand side. It's Mendel Idowu with the attempted cross out for a throw into Ipswich. But yeah, Leicester, it'd be so interesting to follow their progress in League One because it's a different world for them. Basically, the back-to-back relegations. Can they basically step up and basically be a proper force in League One?
course, Russell Martin is had his fair share in lower leagues. Of course, former MK Dons boss, but since then, of course, has tasted Premier League success and Championship success. Ball on the right hand side, whipped into the box. Stalasic comes and claims, confident claim from the Big Foxes goalkeeper. Braybrook sprays it out to the right hand side, looking for Alves. Well intercepted though from Humphreys as time is running out here for the Foxes. On the left hand side, back to Humphreys. Just over 3 minutes to go here before stoppage time. Of course, in the first half we only had a minute. In the second half we obviously had subs. We've had the 3 goals. We had the 2 pauses in play for Aluko after he picked up an injury. That's a poor pass, and now Leicester come forward down the left hand side with Watson. He's going to cut inside on his favoured right to be blocked away. Davis is there to help it, and then punts it long, looking for Akpon, who holds it up well. He turns Joseph, and now he's got a one-on-one opportunity. Bearing down and goal. Can he make it 3-1? What a save by Stalasic. Can he get there before it goes on to play for a corner? No, he can't. The attack will continue. I know it was offside early, but that's the second one-on-one Akpon has had. He missed the first one. Offside, I know. Should that have been 3-1?
Oh, it should be 3-1. It does so well because again it just shrugs off Joseph, and it's his strength, and he basically creates space for himself. He's one-on-one with a keeper, and that's telegraphed. I read that in the paper yesterday that finished. It was like he's leaning to his left, and the goalkeeper's like, yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to dive to my left. So out for a corner kick for Ipswich. Should have been there. He should have had at least a couple of goals. Akpon.
He's had a great game, but that was poor from him. As you said, he just telegraphed what he was going to do. Corner comes in, cleared away, and not cleared away as far as I thought. Declan Reed will pick it up now as I try and play it from the back down the left-hand side. Big tackle on Watson, but it's a good tackle as I flick it back off the youngster and out for a throw-in. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Akpon is killing Mbappe. I'm not in the comparisons, but Mbappe is one who I've seen do it well. He opens up his body, then goes to the near post because he's telegraphing the keeper that the keeper thinks, you're going to go to my left. And he kind of fizzes it to the front post because that's where the space is. As you said, as soon as Akpon goes to the left, opens up his body, Stalasic is going, you're going there. Now, if you pick out the top corner, it's a great strike. But, as you said, it's one of them. Yes, it's a great save from Stalasic because you can only save what's put against you, but he knew where the striker was going.
Yeah, it was just a terrible strike by Akpon because he did so well to actually create the chance, but now it's a chance for Leicester with a shot.
Just a curling effort, just wide there. I believe that was the substitute Alves. It was unfortunately, as soon as he hit it, we were looking at the broadcast angle, again, unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary. Unfortunately, because he's hitting it curling with his right, it was always curling away from goal.
Yeah,
as well.
he's on the right-hand side. The angle is not in his favour. I think he tried to set himself up slightly bad first touches, so his angle is a bit too much right. It's got to be a really, really good shot to get that behind Walton. It's sliced out for a goal kick. It's been a very exciting game. Ipswich, in a way, controlling since 2-1. They've been controlling matters a bit more, but they've had a couple of chances. This was with Alves this time, and with 90 minutes just coming, 89-30 now, and probably easily 5 minutes, so Leicester still have a chance.
There could be an opportunity for an equaliser. Perhaps Ipswich could go and grab a fair bit. Akpon should have made it 3-1 a couple of minutes ago, as you rightfully say, Eric. Well, bit of a mauling. There was the Tigers mauled the Red Devils at the weekend. There's another mauling in 6-1 for Brentford now. My word, I mean, Peterborough beating Watford 5-1 as well, so a couple of I'd say the Peterborough score's a bit of a big surprise. A lovely turn there from Page in the middle. Again, he's been impressive, as you said. We'll curse to the commentators. And Nunes goes from about 50 yards out to chip the goalkeeper, and it's ended up in the back of the net. What a goal there for Ipswich. It was a mistake in the middle from Page, but that is world class from Marcelino Nunes. We were looking, will we get a goal to finish this game off? Well, Nunes' brace is absolutely fantastic. You'd have to say a mistake in the middle from youngster Page. Stalasic off his line. That's Ipswich 3, Leicester 2, Leicester 1.
Well, you can't blame Stalasic there, because that shot from Nunes after he intercepted the ball from Page just inside the D. It goes up in the air, and it basically shaves the post and drops down onside the line. It's just a perfect. It's the only way that could go in is to basically dink it like it basically drops down on the post, the front post, and into the back of the net. Yeah, that's Ipswich was a bit of a revenge from last year. I think Leicester had a goal from a bit further out against Ipswich. Ipswich then, but 3-1. It's a game, set, and match now. But what an exciting game it's been.
It's been an incredible game, hasn't it? And Ipswich have finished it off in style. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Burns will dip one to the back post. Walton will come and claim. And that'll just calm everyone down a little bit there. So Gary O'Neill looking to make 2 final subs just to maybe take minutes off the clock. As I said, 6 minutes of stoppage time. The goal came right on the 90th minute mark. So maybe you're looking at an extra minute if the officials do want to give that or so to this game. But again, I mean, as you rightfully said then, Eric, it's been a great game this evening. 4 goals. I think that's the only thing we were missing in the first half was the ball being put in the back of the net. Here come the Foxes. I thought Braybrook would have picked up the right-hand side there for Alves. Maeda on the ball being pressed down by Alves. Back to Davies, who just has to clear his lines. And I'm assuming as well, what I will say is Nunes, great goal, not taking anything away from him. He also had Akpom straight through. So I'm assuming Akpom would have said, yeah, great goal, but you've got away one there because you could have played me through as well.
Exactly, because basically it's a one of 2 players, 1-on-1 with the keeper if there's a good pass. But now it's Nunes back defending now, and he's full of confidence. With a bit of trickery inside the box, steps on the ball and twists and turns. Managed to find Akpom who wins a free kick. So yeah, it's now comfortable for Ipswich, but it's not been a comfortable 3-1 at all. No. Especially the first half, I thought Leicester could easily have had a couple of goals.
No, I think you spot there watching the goal back from Nunes. Stalasic, you're probably just hoping, I hope that's just over my bar. And then, as you said, hits the underside of the bar, goes in the back of the net, and he's grabbed his brace. I'm not sure if it's almost there. Is he gambling or just going to hit the bar? It was like almost though he didn't want to collide with the bar. He's almost just looking up going, I hope this goes over.
Because what it needed, the only way to actually stop that goal is to go back and basically put your hands on the crossbar. Because it basically is dropping down wide the crossbar. Just shaves the front of the crossbar, and then Nunes now been subbed off for Ipswich, and Compton, one of the youngsters, come on.
Yeah, a bit of an opportunity there, and maybe that's also Gary O'Neill. That might have been prepared, I'm not saying not, but you've got 2 goals, you've scored a world-class one right there. Let me give you the applaud of Portman Road, possibly, I'm not too sure. Of course, Nunes, he did start at the weekend. He was himself and O'Shea, they've played 90 minutes, haven't they? We're in stoppage time. O'Shea will complete 2 out of 2. Imagine he'll start at the weekend at Old Trafford, would be my assumption, so maybe that's just giving him some rest in the legs. Of course, he came from Norwich, and well, I will just ask you quickly before the end of the game, I think we've had some fantastic performances from both teams this evening. Anyone for a player of the match?
Yeah, player of the match. I think you've got to give it to Nunes now after those two goals. But if Akpom had scored on his chances, I would have picked Akpom, but because of his non-goal scoring, poor goals. But for Leicester, I thought Louis Page, it was his mistake that led to the 3rd goal, but I thought it's been excellent. McFarlane's been excellent, and there've been so many bright sparks from Leicester, both Watson and Howell going forward. So yeah, I'll pick Nunes for his 2 goals, but Akpom just behind him.
I agree with you. Louis Page was unfortunately his mistake led to the Nunes strike, as you say, but he had a great game. Here come Leicester on the left-hand side. I believe the flag's already gone up because the referees pulled it back for something. But once again, Leicester, there's a lot of positives that they can take from this evening.
Very exciting team, Leicester to watch today. So this Leicester, you'd think they're going to do well in League One, but obviously they have... in the 2 games they played, I think they're both, even with 10 men against Burton, they have like 70% possession. But if you look at the expected goals in both games, they're losing. So like I think